We'd like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity podcast for the virtual coffee connection. And this one's on live one's on Tuesday. You're invited to participate and have others join. And so today we've got on Harley, and he's going through the 30-day time challenge on the secret about time. And Anita was asking him before, which is really cool. So Harley, what do you think about, you're on day 4, you said, what do you think about that?
It's a really eye-opener. I was working on the farm here yesterday, and I was just thinking I'm busy, but I'm not productive. So I really got to change my way of thinking, and that has really opened up my eyes. I'm really curious. I stop at every day. I stop, write things down, and I'm curious. I just like to read on, but I don't, just because it's enough to absorb for one day.
Right. There's a lot packed in those 3 minutes to 14 minutes. The average is 6 minutes. And so there's a lot to absorb. And as I think it was Katie that said at the live coffee connection, she said that the second time, days 11 through 20, she went through all the 10 videos again. And the next time she went through them, she saw something different.
Yeah.
And so there's natural laws, and there's over 500 of those that we've discovered over the last 30 plus years. And then there's something that's called supernatural laws. And what are supernatural laws? It's when you combine multiple laws together and they become supernatural. So these all are individual laws, but when you take all 10 of them and combine them together, they all build on one another. They all help one another. So you've been through the 3 for 1, and then the Mach 1. Day 3 is the life vision, and day 4 is the 5, or actually 7, time management freedom fighters. And so day 5 is going to be the 5 H's to success and the 7 T's to stewardship. The 5 time management freedom fighters actually is 5. I was thinking of the 7. And so the 7 T's to stewardship. So the hardest part, without question, is the application of this. Like, what do we do with it? And this is why we recommend Manage Up and Out. So, since you guys don't have email, not sure, do you guys have a fax machine?
Yes, we do.
So you could do that, actually. And so you can just share, what are your thoughts? And then you could share, what did I learn from this? So every day, at the end of the day, after you go through the video, you should manage up and out. And that's, what did you think? General thoughts. And then, what did I learn from it? That's number 1. Number 2 is going to be, what action am I going to take from it? Number 3 is, what do I need to learn next? So what did I learn? Action and next. And so those are the things you want to do every day. So it's not in the 10, videos that are there, but there's something that I discovered years after this, and it's called the internalization model. And so it's in one of the coffee connection. Do you have any of the booklets there with you?
I don't. I got the coffee connection booklet here. But I don't have the time management booklet out here.
The coffee connection will get the job done. In there's an internalization model. An internalization model helps us to, there's head knowledge, like I understand what I need to do, but I often don't do what I understand. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so if we don't understand if we're not doing something, if there's anything we know we should be doing and we're not doing it, that's one of 3 reasons. 1 is because we don't know the true value of doing it. 2, we don't know the true cost of not doing it. 3 is we don't know how to get it done with our current level of resources. Now, if you have other business owners that refer business to you, or could, it'd be good for them to get on the secret about time too, to have them go through it. Like, They don't have to be on Action Vision. They can just go through it. And as you help them, they help you. As their business grows, your business grows. As your business grows, their business grows. Together, we truly can accomplish so much more than we ever could on our own. Does that make sense?
It does.
Any other questions that you have?
That's kind of my focus right at this point because I'm right in the middle of it. But I just thought I'd listen in, see what else I can glean from you, Mark.
Yeah, good. No, that's the secret about time. I mean, 1/3 of all business owners, when you ask them what their biggest challenge is, they'll say something directly about time. And so it's very, very powerful. And then at the next coffee connection, you want to get as many business owners there as you can. And then we want you to talk about the secret about time. And we can help you, or you can have Anita, talking with you, or you could have Ginger Ann, or you could have Elaine or Nora, whoever you want, or me. I mean, whatever. And so you have somebody else kind of speak with you and kind of interview you and talk to you about, ask you questions and draw out from you the magic on the secret about time and why it's been so beneficial to you. Makes sense?
It does, yeah.
Cool. So congratulations on that. That's very exciting. Who else has joined us?
All right, it's David.
Hey, David, how are you doing?
Not too bad.
Good. Good to have you join us today as well. David, is there anything specific you would like to go ahead and accomplish?
No, I just wanted to listen in and see if I could learn anything today.
Okay, cool. All right, let me go ahead and let me just do a quick check here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up some information about you from your Action Vision and from the Business X-ray and the 30-minute strategy session. And we'll go ahead and take a look at some of those. So on the Coffee Connection, it's 30 minutes. We go down around the virtual room and ask people, hey, what would you like to accomplish today? And and if you're, you both of you guys have been through the Business X-ray, you're both on Action Vision, so there's always plenty to talk about on it. You guys are free to go ahead and invite other people to participate. They don't have to be on Action Vision. So as you help others, they help you. As your business grows, their business grows. As their business grows, your business grows. Together, we can truly accomplish so much more than we ever could on our own. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you had said your biggest challenge was getting jobs done. Second was getting systems in place. And then third was you'd like help on hiring. And then do you have your Action Vision book there with you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. In the future, we'll probably reference that. If you've got any of the booklets, we'll also reference that too. We can. And then you said if there was something you could change about yourself, what would you change? And you said being a more of a go-getter. And so when we look at go-getters, like your personality, you have a double amiable personality. One of your greatest strengths would be your concern, compassion for people. One of your weaknesses might be your concern, compassion for people. So that amiable, as a double amiable, you're wired. Do you know why you want to be more of a go-getter, David?
Just there's, I guess, just so jobs get done quicker. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so the amiable personality is going to want to please people. And if you get their job done earlier, probably going to please people. So your motivation might still be amiable, even though it sounds like a driver. And so systems in place will help you to get things done earlier. And so it'd probably be good. Anita can introduce you to Harley. And so he's going through the 30-day challenge right now. And so he's on day 4. And so that's fine. And so you could actually join him on that 30-day challenge. And that would go ahead and that would help you a lot. So if you both go through it together, he'll see things you don't, you'll see things he doesn't. So together we accomplish more. So you guys sharing those different things, that would help. And he's not quite as amiable as you are, but he's pretty amiable, very amiable. And so David, you've got a secondary of analytic. The analytic is not going to be a go-getter either because they don't want to make mistakes. When you're a go-getter, you're sometimes like I would be a personality of a go-getter. Sometimes that creates conflict. Sometimes things aren't done right. And so there's a balancing act that you have. I'm willing to take more risk to do those things because I tremendously value growth. Does that make sense, David?
Yeah, it does.
If you start creating a journal on getting jobs done and getting systems in place, if you create a journal and you get that over to your Action Vision team, you can list out all the reasons why jobs aren't getting done. So this is why a job's not getting done. This is. So if if your coaching team can see why your jobs aren't getting done, then what will happen is they can look at patterns. And then if you have specific systems in mind, they can help you with that. When they see why jobs aren't getting done or what you mean by jobs getting done, if they can see what you're thinking, and you can put that down on the paper, or they see patterns of why things aren't doing it, that's when you'll get the most out of the coaching. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Nice. Anything else, David, you'd like to accomplish today?
Oh, no, not necessarily.
Okay. So what Anita and I have been working on, and it's best if you guys can attend every week. So it's a half an hour. We start right on time, end right on time. So, if you guys can be here every week, 30 minutes, the goal is that it'd be the best, most profitable 30 minutes you could ever have all week. So we have 10,080 minutes in a week. So 30 minutes, we should be able to do that. One of the things that Anita and I are working on is we're going through the next dimension principle. I don't know. Have we talked to you guys, both of you guys, about the next dimension or not so much?
I'm not sure. I don't think I.
Okay.
I don't think I.
So, what's a higher number, a 2 or a 9? Most people will say, well, 9, of course, because we think in one dimension. But if there's 10 levels in a dimension, once we get a 10 is not perfection. A 10 is a masteries of that particular dimension. Make sense?
Can you say that again?
Sure. So if there's 10 levels in a dimension, a 10, when we get to the top of a dimension, it's not perfection, it's masteries. And so once we hit a 10, we move to the next dimension. So a 2 in the next dimension is higher than a 9 in the previous dimension. Like the more we know we don't know. Do you both understand that?
Yes, I'm seeing into this.
Go ahead,
because
Harley.
the more I try to see into this, the less I know.
Right.
So I know what you're talking about.
Right. So that's how, as we get older, we should go ahead and become more humble, because the more we know we don't know. That's how it should work. And so what that does is the more we know we don't know, the better students we become. Now, when you go from one dimension to the next dimension, and when you look at in the dimension, there's 10 levels. From 1 to 2.5 is a cheerleader. So in your Action Vision coaching, when you do something new, so if you guys both strong, amiable. So if you guys have conflict in your life, your coaches will probably cheerlead you both and say, boy, you, David and Harley, you're both having conflict. That's awesome. Keep up the good work. Because the amiable does everything they can to avoid conflict. And in avoiding conflict, they often create conflict, but it's not right away. So they don't even realize avoiding situations is what's creating the conflict. It's not the situation, it's the avoidance. Make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yep.
So from 2.5 to 5, that's the teacher coach. So the cheerleader is the amiable. They tell you you're doing great. Maybe if you don't feel like you're doing great, don't look like you're doing great, you're not winning any games, cheerleaders will tell you you're doing great. The teacher will explain to you why you're not winning games, why you're not getting where you want to do, earning the income you want to earn, working the hours you want to work. The teacher coach will explain why that is, the science behind it. Level 3 is going to go ahead and be from 5 to 7.5. That's a level 3 coach, and that's going to be the expressive, and they'll kick your butt. I mean, they will go ahead and push you hard. And so you might not like them, but you can fall in love with them because they're going to tell you things you don't want to hear, but you need to hear to move to move to that next dimension. And then level 4 coach is the Navy SEAL. That's the driver. That's where I tend to do the best in. And so I like to be in that area. These are people from a 7.5 to 10. These are people that want me to beat them up. They want me to pound them. They want me like to really push them because that's how they're going to go to that next dimension. Now, once you get a 10, there's what's called a dimensional gap. And again, you guys don't need to know all of this. It's in the booklet. So in the Coffee Connection booklet, some of the other booklets, it's going to be, in there. And so to move us forward, there's faith, see, understand, do, humility, great stewardship, contentment, self-discipline, perspective, and strong life vision. What holds us back from making a dimensional jump is fear. We do not see. We lack understanding. Do not do. Pride, poor stewardship, lust of the eyes, lust of flesh, low morale, lukewarm. So we have to go ahead and say, I'm going to make the jump, and it requires faith. Or we're going to stay at where we're at, but that's not going to work out so well for us. In the dimensional gap, there's something that's invisible. And I've known about the dimensional gap for years, but I didn't realize something was invisible. And so what we're working on now is what's called the ratchet principle. And the ratchet principle is once we change our behavior, how do we make it stick? That could be eating what we eat. It could be exercise. It could be making sales calls, doing things we don't like to do. And so often we do a behavior that's good and it works to some degree, but then we stop doing it and then we fall back. And so how do we make it stick? And this is something that Anita is really driving forward and doing a great job. And so just last night in my sleep, I discovered there's false like growing pains, like it feels like we're growing. It feels like we're growing, but we're actually not. So we think we've got it fixed. So in coaching, it's like penicillin. The doctor says, take these 10 pills. Do not stop taking them. At halfway through, you might feel better, but you haven't kicked it. And if you stop, it'll come back and the penicillin won't work. It builds up an immunity to it. The same thing is true with coaching. The same thing is true in any area of life. We often don't make the breakthrough. What we're doing right now in research, both Synergy and Life Masteries Institute, is how, it seems like we've been hurt at a heart level. And so at the age of 40, my wife and I had been married for 20 years. We're now been married for 41 years. So this was 20 years ago. And we were going through a really hard time in our marriage. I mean, it was brutal. And didn't know if we were going to make it through it. It was hard. And I saw my uncle, who was a pastor, and he had done counseling, and his wife. And we went to their house, and he beat on me for an hour. Not bad. He just tried to get through. He couldn't. Like it was just like a wall. Like it was just unbelievable. Couldn't get through. And after an hour, my aunt said, Gary, you're not getting through to Mark. He's like, nope, I'm not. And she said, let me give it a try. And he said, go for it for sure. And she looked into my eyes and she said, Mark, I think you've been hurt at a heart level. And I just started crying, just crying, just weeping. I'm like, oh my goodness, she nailed it. And after a few minutes, a while, through my tears, I'm like, Aunt Carrie, how do I heal that? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, really? But at least, so for the last 21 years, I've been trying to figure out how to heal at a heart level. And it seems like first we got to see that we're hurt, and a lot of times we don't. Like there can be traumatic childhood memories that we don't even remember. There can be things that we don't even realize hurt us, and they deeply hurt us. And so I've been working on that for over 20 years. So it's like to be healed at a heart level, you need to be heard. So there's a whole, I don't know that we had it sitting out. Maybe we did. We can next coffee connection. But there's a booklet on healing at a heart level. So we wonder if the reason people don't make dimensional jumps is because they can't. There's a ceiling there. Because it's like something has been blocking them. And so we're doing a lot of stuff on that. How does that connect back into business? I wonder if we get stuck in business, in our marriages, with kids, with friends, spiritually. Like I wonder what that's like. Like it's just interesting. So again, as always, we go over a lot of information in a short period of time, right? 30 minutes is like, wow, that's crazy. You don't have to pick up everything. I would encourage you to come back every week, bring a friend or two. And typically it's 3 to 4 weeks in a row. Once you get through 3 to 4 weeks, then all of a sudden everything starts to flow for you. Like everything starts to go ahead and be like, oh, you start connecting the dots and you start seeing these epiphany, these aha moments where you're like, oh my goodness, that makes all the sense in the world. So Action Vision and the Action Vision coaching isn't just about helping you make more money. It's not just about helping you gain additional time. It's about helping you have the marriage that you've always dreamed of. It's the kid with your children. It's the spiritual health, emotional, mental, relational health. It's whatever you want it to be. And so we look at a lot of these things and, some people find they're pretty deep, but they're simple. Almost all of them, like a child, it's like, that's not that complicated. But it does go deep. So if you're listening to the rebroadcast of this podcast and you're like, this is pretty interesting, I'd like to participate in it, you can actually. It's on Tuesdays at 4:00 Eastern time. And you just go to www.ravingfan, ravingfan.net, ravingfan.net. And you can join on a Zoom call. You don't have to participate. You can just sit here if you want. It seems like that actually works better than if you're on a podcast, but either way it works. But you can bring, like David or Harley did, you can bring your biggest challenge. And it doesn't have to be business. It can be any area of your life. If you have any questions on anything we covered today, connect with the individual who invited you to participate in today's session, or you can call toll free 888-230-2300, outside the U.S. 630-393-9909. And always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.